more passion, more energy,
More passion, more energy, fruit, more guava. More passion fruit, more guava. More antioxidants for the skin. Youth to the people. Yeah, no, it actually like gives me an incurable disease every time I sing. So I don't know why I offer.
This is called an all-day superfruit soda. It has a little bit of caffeine in it from coffee fruit, pear juice.
Oh, Amanda!
Why was that my problem?
Because you literally shook it.
When did I shake it?
I'm like actually pissed off right now. For those who are deep enough to get it,
But profound enough to not care.
you're listening to Consciously Unconscious.
Our lawyer emailed us.
Oh, we have a lawyer because we are officially
Business goals.
a legal licensed corporation. Is that what LLC stands for?
Limited liability company.
But legal licensed corporation sounds like
Better.
so.
Okay, so now we have a legal licensed corporation.
Yeah, we're LLCing the word LLC.
Yeah. Facts.
Wait, what does it mean? Legal liability.
Limited liability company. So if
Why are we
anybody comes
limited?
for us, our liability is limited.
Oh, our liability is limited.
Yeah, I don't really know if that's the real thing, but
Yeah.
Guess what?
What?
I hung our first poster today.
Where I hung one last week.
No, you did
So
not.
technically, it's not the first.
Wait, where?
Wait, where'd you hang it? At the coffee shop?
At my coffee shop, you have to see where we put it. So I go in. So I go to this lovely coffee shop. If you want to see the poster and you want to go get a great
You want
coffee,
to see it live.
it's called Subjective. It's my favorite. And the barista, Rich, is my homie. He's my dude. And I've been telling him for weeks, we've got this great artwork. And I showed him because we got an apple and he was so stoked for us. He's like, bring your stuff in so we can promote your podcast. And I was like, lit.
Richie
going to.
Rich.
So he's been waiting and waiting and waiting. And I finally walked in and I was like, I
Where'd
have
he put it? Front and center?
Front and center, baby. So there's a community board by the bathroom. And then
No
when
one's looking
you're-
at that shit. They're
No,
heading
right?
straight to do the deed.
I still
they know
did
what
hit
they're
that,
going.
though.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I did. Okay, go.
Yeah. And so then when you check out, there's on the counter, there's like some business cards and stuff. Neither of those places was where Rich wanted to hang it.
Did Rich put
wanted
us
to
on the
hang
front
it.
door?
Go ahead and take a little zoom in.
Oh my god!
Right above the burritos.
Is amazing.
We're above the burritos, baby.
Wow, where is this place? And we're right next to the bagels.
Well, I can't tell you because it's pretty close to my house.
Oh, okay. Well, anyone can look it up. So
Well-
you just really sold yourself
Just
in.
forget you heard anything.
That's so exciting.
But where did you hang it?
I went to CLC, the sauna studio again.
Yeah, CYL.
CYL. Well, first of all, I will never be going back.
Oh.
Ever. And I encourage you all to boycott the business model with me.
Oh, but you made sure that you left your mark with her.
I did leave my
Poster.
mark. I put one of the little ones because I
Yeah.
was carrying them around in my purse, just waiting for the right moment to take a tack and pop it up. And I put it in the bathroom at CYC.
Love.
So whatever
Love.
the place is
Oh.
called. But you know what? One session, $55.
Yeah. For how long? How
30
many minutes?
minutes.
That's it.
And I said, this is highway robbery.
It should be a minute per dollar. $1 per minute.
Well, you think of a drop-in yoga class, $30, $25. You're hitting me with 55.
Yeah.
Asinine.
Well, you have a sauna.
Yeah, but I'm
was a weak
starting to get a
moment.
little. I'm starting to get a little picky with my saunas.
And you want to be outside.
CYL is not outside.
I'm saying like outside of your home.
Oh, well, my sauna is a steam sauna.
Hmm.
And something that I'm getting a little pretentious about is that I like to know how much I'm sweating. But when I go in a steam sauna, you're just wet no matter what. The second that you get in, you're just wet.
Yeah.
You can't really measure how effective is this. Are you okay?
No,
What's
there's
going
like
on?
there's like a hair in the lip gloss. Your lip gloss is
Hella
so
sticky.
sticky.
I bought that in like an 18 pack for a bachelorette trip, so it's probably
like 10
ridden
years
with
ago?
carcinogens. No, a couple weeks ago.
Is it?
There's also just like when spring rolls around and there's just particles in the air.
Yeah. When I put this on inside.
There's particles in the air.
Okay, it should be
inside.
fine. It should be fine. Well, actually, you just reminded me because I did put the little ones somewhere last week as well. And I put them at Choose Fitness where Lucas goes to work out. And I used to have a membership at, but I broke that membership because it's so dark in there. It's so dark. And I need to be in a gym that has like windows and stuff and better childcare. And so I put them in the lockers, like in some empty lockers in the bathroom.
Hell yeah.
And Lucas was like, you have to ask permission. And I was like, what?
No.
He's like, you could, like, they're really stingy about that. That's like soliciting. And I was like, that's okay.
Well, good thing we have limited liability.
Yeah, good thing we got a lawyer.
So it's official, baby. What are we called? Just Consciously Unconscious LLC?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you put like an L.L.C. And I was like, get the periods out of there.
Yeah, no periods.
No
just
periods.
capital LL.
Just capital
C.
C. A, B, C, C, D, E, F, E, H, H, I.
Is that Greek?
No. I'm really having a hard time with Greek. And you know... And you know what? That is a gap in the market. If anyone wants to capitalize on this, there are no good...
I wish you could have just seen her mouth freeze.
You know when you get... What's that called? Oh, a stroke. When half your face goes...
Yeah, my grandma had one.
Okay, well, she was probably of a reasonable age to go through...
She happened like 6 months ago.
Exactly. She was of a reasonable age.
Oh, like qualified for...
Right. She made qualifying numbers to have a stroke. She hit a PR. But
love you, Grams. Love you, Lala.
You call her Lala?
No, the boys call her Lala. I call her Grandma Sally.
Isn't that crazy that when you're a grandparent, you just get to choose what you want to be called? Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, Lala, Grammy.
So my mom is Mimi.
I'm going to be called Pipsqueak.
Why?
Because why not exercise the control over the scenario?
You know what I actually do like? Granny.
That just fits you.
I like Granny or I like Nana.
Nana's cute. Nana's like hella innocent though. Nana would really leave out a lot of my story.
What about Nans?
No. Pipsqueak.
Granny.
Pippi.
Gran.
Pippi.
Pippi? But Pippi is like... Pipsqueak is small.
I'm going to be...
A small, frail old woman?
No, not frail. Just like...
blow away in the wind.
Wipe the grease off my pizza. Pippi sounds good to me.
Pippi?
I don't know. I'm coming up with this at the moment and it's sounding right. Or like, what would you rather me be? Like, Momo.
Jojo. Jessa. Jessie.
No.
Jessie. Jessie's cute. Grandma Jessie. Grandma Jessie is cute.
Still just grandma.
Grandma Jessie.
Yesa.
Yesa.
Yeska. Yeah, that would be like my Northern Russian name. Yeska.
Yeska?
Yeska.
Mine would be Aneska.
You know, I went through a bit for a little while in college where I got super good at a Russian accent. I'm not going to do it, so don't ask me to do it live because I can only do it after I've
There's no world in which that I would not ask you to do it live.
Well, I'm not lubricated enough yet.
Hit us with a little vocal. That was pretty good.
I wouldn't say that. Actually.
That was actually pretty good.
I wouldn't sing.
You need to warm up the vocals, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips.
Myself? I would call myself. Oh shoot! Now I brought up a story that I can't back.
Russian is also like harsh.
The back of the throat.
Yeah.
You know what I've been having a really hard time with recently? Responding to text messages, and then I dig myself into this like hole where I get even more anxious that I haven't responded. Do you know the feeling?
No, because I don't respond to people's text messages, and then it goes like a month, and I just like read it and never reply.
Well, here's my problem. And I've been trying to break this down. And maybe it's a people-pleasing tendency, so maybe we can have a live therapy session. I don't think that I'm a people pleaser. I really don't believe that I am. But oftentimes I find myself in a scenario where someone wants me to do something or asks me to do something. And in the moment, I'm like, absolutely. Will you teach Pilates for me? Sure, absolutely. Do you want to come out to dinner? Sure, yeah, I would love that. Oh my God. And I say yes without really even thinking about why. And maybe I think it's because I want the other person to like me because I'm appeasing them or I'm doing what they would want me to do. And then,
Which is called le people pleaser.
le people pleaser.
Le pipsqueak.
Le pipsqueak pleaser. And then I overbook myself. I overcommit myself. I realize that I'm not actually in the market to do things that I promise people.
Right.
Somehow a text message gets sent along the way, checking in on something that I promised someone else. And then I panic and then I freak out. And I'm like, you know what? The first step would have been to just say no in the moment, or I'll check my calendar. I didn't do that. So I'm already too far gone. Then I get the text. And then I'm like, oh God, I got to think of something to say back. So I unread it. I leave it in my inbox unread. I'm like, I'll go back to that when I'm ready. A week passes. I'm like, whew, have not said anything yet.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Not respond to that woman. And then I start to get anxiety because then I'm like, wow,
Right.
now I'm digging my own grave. I'm jumping inside of it and I'm burying myself in it because then I wait another week because the anxiety has kicked in. And then 2, 3, 4 weeks later, I end up sending a text that's like, hey, sorry, I've fallen off the face of the earth. I got really busy and can't keep up with my own schedule, and I've overbooked myself, and I'm really sorry, and I really wanted to do that thing that
So
you asked
then
me.
you're like victim dumping on them.
Exactamente.
Yeah, making it their problem when you were the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is like a moment where I'm like, oof.
You know what I do is when they text me about the plans, I just say, ooh, you know what? I totally forgot I booked something else. Just in the moment, shoot it down.
That's what I'm working on.
Yeah. Like you can say, yes, oh my God, that sounds so fun. Like I'm totally down in the moment. And then behind your phone in the safety of your own home, you shoot a little text that says, oh my gosh, whoops.
You know, my home's not feeling very safe.
No.
There's a bird outside.
Enough said.
Everyone's like, oh my God, I love being woken up in the springtime by other birds chirping. There's a bird outside that sounds like a howling monkey. Wait, listen to this.
An actual howling monkey.
Yeah, I'm going to order a bow and arrow off the black market and shoot it down. If birds aren't real in the first place, listen.
Do you hear that?
Do you hear that? Who are you talking to? Yeah, we hear it, Jessa. We hear it pipsqueak.
Loud and clear pipsqueak. It is nonstop.
You're so right, because I usually am a welcome with arms wide open kind of gal when it comes to spring, because I do love the birds waking me up. I also love when the birds come into my backyard and they pull a worm from the grass.
Where
it's
have
so
worms
beautiful.
been? I haven't seen worms in years.
They're coming. They're in my backyard. That's where they've been. I have a worm sanctuary.
So you
rescue
have all the
center.
worms.
Yeah,
You have, like, you know how people have ant farms. You have a worm farm.
correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've been curious about, you know, where they've been procreating and such, because I haven't seen them on the sidewalks
Yeah.
in years.
Just come on over.
okay.
Take a little look-see.
Yeah, I would be really interested.
It's so cool to watch the birds actually swoop down and pull one, like literally like they have x-ray vision or something, because you don't see the worm. You see the bird coming down, pulls exactly where it is, and just goes on its merry way.
Is it true that worms have teeth?
Oh my God. I didn't know that they had teeth, but I should know as the founder of the worm
maybe
sanctuary.
I'm just thinking of the Alaskan bullworm in SpongeBob.
Have you seen an episode of SpongeBob lately? As an adult?
Yeah, definitely as an adult. I don't know about recently.
Dude, we put it on one time because, that's an interesting thing too. Like the kids being so used to watching Disney Plus or Netflix where they get to choose and there's no commercials. And so then when they watch cable, anytime an advert comes on, they're like, Mommy, why did it turn
What
off?
is this?
Why did it turn off? Mommy, what's going on? It's off. I'm
You're
like,
like,
no,
this is
it's just a commercial.
late stage
is
capitalism.
Yeah, this is just how Mommy used to watch shows. And so we watched SpongeBob one time, and it was the Flying Dutchman ones.
Yeah, it's scary.
Scary, but also like
Scary.
Yeah,
Hello? Are you from Long Island? Scary. So scary. Okay, so what were you saying about your worms sanctuary?
Okay, so my worm sanctuary. I love the birds for that reason because I get to watch them pull the worms up and out of my yard. However,
Yeah, it's almost like a wildlife museum.
it is. And they usually have perfect pitch, beautiful harmony,
The birds.
great melodies. This morning, I sleep with my window cracked open. Okay. Also not a great thing to tell the world, but I do. And Ellis crawls into my bed at 5:45 this morning, falls asleep and sleeps until like 6:30. He wakes up and he goes, "Do you hear that?" And it was a bird, but it did not
I can imagine
sound.
him going, "Do you hear
Do
that?
you hear that? But it did not sound like the beautiful, like,
Do you wanna know why?
It sounded like,
It's because the birds are malfunctioning because they're government drones.
also, maybe because of the 5G everywhere.
Probably. That's why we're all malfunctioning.
Did you see that Instagram DM that we got?
No, I don't remember. I don't check that.
Yeah, I'm about to actually not to either because I'm about to actually not to.
I'm going to actually decide not to go to tip.
Because I haven't been on social media in a minute and it's been so nice. However,
You literally messaged me something like a day ago.
no. When?
No, don't throw me under the bus like that.
When?
What did the DM say?
Okay, she sent us a reel of this guy explaining 5G.
Who?
This guy.
Okay.
Explaining what 5G is and how basically, okay, let me start over.
Yeah, I'm not following.
Okay. So this gal, I apologize, I don't know your name. She sent us a reel and said this might be an interesting topic for you guys to
Oh,
discuss.
well, that's
so
kind of her to think of us.
I am bringing the topic up to not be discussed.
Right.
And so the guy is sitting by a creek and he has his phone next to him and he's using AI. I don't know if it's Google AI or whatever, but he goes, AI, like, tell me what 5G is and tell me how it's, you know, interfering with our normal frequencies and it's throwing everything off and da 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 da. And AI goes, you are exactly spot on. This is what 5G is. And this is how it's hurting our brains and our everything. Like,
It's basically just like radiation that's completely throwing off our normal equilibrium.
well, and they were talking about it in the way that it's like artificial frequency.
Yeah.
It's like artificial frequency that's throwing off our natural frequency where our nervous systems actually like to be.
Have you ever heard of the human resonance chart?
No.
Let's check what it is today. So there's a human resonance chart.
That changes every day.
Yeah, based on like planetary alignments. I think it's called the Schumann resonance. Wait.
Schumann.
I don't know, actually, really. This is a good question for my friend Joey, but it's something about Earth's electromagnetic spectrum. Human resonance frequency. Oh, do you want to know what I talked about the other day? Speaking of frequencies. I don't know. We'll come back to the human resonance chart. If you know anything about it, let me know, because I'd like to check in. But there's basically like the collective human frequency is there's like a baseline for it and it changes day by day based on life events, based on the cosmos, based on like things happening. And so
Cool.
5G is probably interfering with it.
Have you heard about the pyramids?
How there's pools of mercury underneath them that used to power the whole thing.
Well, the big columns and the conductors that they discovered with LiDAR technology.
When did they discover this stuff?
Dude, this is like all happened in the last 2 weeks. They came out with an announcement. Well, okay, so they discovered this, I think, 9 months ago.
Okay.
And they were sitting on this information because they were waiting to announce it. 2 weeks ago, they made an announcement that they had used LiDAR technology to
What is
see.
LiDAR technology?
It's basically like radar, like X-ray technology
Okay.
that can see through the pyramids and see what's underneath them.
How the fuck? Who?
Dude, check this out.
Why do we think it's so amazing that these pyramids are created when we have LiDAR technology? Like, what?
Well,
I
because
mean,
look what's underneath them.
It is amazing.
Look what's
but, like,
underneath this fucking
Why do
shit.
we doubt human capacity?
Well, because people are saying, so look, that's what's found underneath the pyramids.
Oh yeah, I've seen stuff like this before. This isn't. I mean, like
That's
maybe
new.
this is breaking news, but like they have all these.
she had the inside scoop.
Well, I definitely lived as a pharaoh in a past life.
You think?
I don't know.
But what's
Probably.
interesting is because I was at the mountains all weekend and my good friend Griffin, whose house we stayed at, he is just like one of those guys that's knowledgeable about like a lot of things and knows like enough about a lot of topics. And he was saying the pyramids to Cleopatra is like the same time difference as us to Cleopatra. So the pyramids were actually ancient to to Cleopatra.
Yeah, interesting.
And so people are
Or
basically
so we
saying,
think. We don't even know.
true.
This is all speculation.
I think we do know though. Like, I think
What,
archaeologists
based on like
know.
carbon dating and shit?
Just based on like, yeah, the evidence
Just based
that
on
they
like
have.
stuff that
Just
they
based
know.
on like, yeah.
Dude, anthropology was one of my favorite classes.
Ugh. Speak for yourself.
Oh, okay.
No, but seriously, these pyramids, basically what they think that they are is, and actually I was talking to Joey about it because she's in Egypt.
Yes.
This is Jessa's friend, and I was like, yo, what's good with these pyramids? And she's like, oh my God, dude. And like sent me a whole like
She sent you a voice message?
No, but she
Oh.
like did like a bunch of messages and sent me a reel and all these things because I was so curious. And
Yeah.
essentially people think that these are like energy conductors.
Of course they are.
But what's so interesting to me is how did they make those things happen? Because they are over 3 miles into the Earth's surface.
Yeah, because what we think of as humans, this is my theory, and I think probably many other people's theories, like what we think of as conscious human beings right now, there was like a different
Frequency?
level of that, a different, sure, we can call it a species maybe, but like there was just different life forms on Earth that
Aliens.
had different powers, different levels of consciousness, different abilities to create, to move energy, to transmute, to like basically the concept of an alien. Mm-hmm. But it's not an alien because, well, I don't know. The world may never know. You know, speaking of all of this
Woo-woo. Ether.
woo-woo ether,
Shit.
I led a 8 a.m. yoga class on a Sunday the other day where I taught everyone how to quantum jump.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was a little intense for that early in the morning.
People were like, I haven't even had my coffee yet.
So something happened to me where I got a package the other day that I just like got really slap happy, and I opened it and then I realized that it wasn't my package, but I opened it and it was a book on quantum jumping. And I said,
Oh.
I'm going to keep this.
Whose book was it?
But it's fine. It was just off Amazon and I looked it up and it was like $4.
So you just kept it and didn't say anything.
Well, yeah, yeah, I did. And then I was like trying to
She's like,
rationalize it.
actually, I need this more than you.
I was trying to rationalize it by being like, this is a message for me.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
my
sign.
time to leap into quantum physics. And so anyways, I kept it and then it really inspired me. It's called Jump Bitch Jump. It's actually like a really dumb.
I fucking hate that.
It's dumb. But
Jump, bitch, jump.
I don't have to share my wisdom with you.
Please.
Oh, look, there's Gene. There's a white dog that lives in my house. And his name is Gene.
Why have I never heard of Gene?
Look, he's right there.
Hi, Gene.
Hi, Gene.
Hi,
Anyways, quantum jumping. I went into this whole idea of how you have to, it's again, very Joe Dispenza coded, nothing that we've not talked about before, but the idea of embodying the frequency of where you want to go and what you want.
Right.
So that you can, attract through the law of attraction. But I decided, this was like a late night thought that I was having in bed, and I would like to trademark and write a book about, I found what I'm going to write my book about. Should I say it?
Yes.
It's too late. I'm going to say it. It's this concept that I've coined as engaged receptivity.
So being
Because
engaged with the reception that you're...
I think a lot of people think law of attraction or like receptive, like receiving energy can come off as very passive. But it's not just this idea of waiting for things to come to you.
like aligned action.
Kind of, but I'm calling it engaged receptivity because you still have to participate in the attraction of the things that you want by changing your own frequency.
Yeah,
And
love.
by like
It's a different concept. It's different than
by
aligned action.
participating in your timeline.
It definitely feels different than aligned action because I think aligned action feels like you're receiving information still passively and then taking action on those things. I think what you're explaining is like maybe being more intentional about what you're receiving and how you're receiving it.
Yeah, like you have to take effort and attention and choice to attract what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to clear blockages, which takes effort.
Do you think you have to actually put effort into that though?
I think you do because the effort comes from being committed and being dedicated enough to lean into the storyline of I can have anything I want, lean into abundance mindset, like not wait for someone else to give you permission to step forward into a new reality. Like, it's not like engaged action where it's like you have to reorganize and realign everything in your life and like take this step and take this step and take this step. But it does take conscious effort. It does take engagement. So it's like living a life with high involvement, low attachment.
Yes. High involvement, low attachment, because I think what I was thinking about was the example of me before we got on Apple's browse page.
Good times.
Great times. Run it back, please. And I was super attached to the idea of getting on the new and noteworthy page on the date that we had selected.
Yeah.
And because we didn't that day, I was ruined. I was so negative. I was so like down on myself. And then I had to go through this moment of being like, I am completely set up and ready for that moment to happen. Mm-hmm. But I don't need to force it to happen. And quite honestly, if I do force it, it's not going to happen. So I'm almost kind of in this moment now where I feel like for so long I've been so engaged in my shit, but attached to the outcomes.
Yeah.
Now I feel that I am trying almost to like not be so involved because I know that I've done the work to set myself up to be in the space to receive all that I want.
Mm-hmm. I think you also have, we've talked about this before, something that's quite relatable to a lot of people is this concept of not celebrating something until you know that you get it. Like I'm very opposite. I'm like, let me just pretend like I already have it. Very quantum jump oriented, very much just like delusionally like, of course I have it. Of course I have the job. Of course I have the house. Of course I have whatever the fuck you want. You are very much like, I'm not going to say that I have it, or I'm not going to celebrate that I have it until I get it because I don't want to lean into the disappointment if I don't get it. Mm-hmm. Remember how you were telling me about that? You might be able to explain it better. But
I think that I feel that way with just work specifically.
Oh.
Because when it comes to a house, when it comes to my family, when it comes to like my personal stuff, I already know that I have everything. But when it comes to my work specifically, yeah, I do feel... I don't know.
Like, think about the concept of applying to a school, right? You're like, I'm applying to Stanford Business School. And instead of, I'm already going to embody the feeling that I've gotten in. And I'm just going to celebrate it like I have. And that's what's going to get me in. You would treat it like, and many others would, I'm not going to tell anyone. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to get attached to the outcome. I'm not going to like celebrate it until I know because I don't want there to be disappointment.
I don't know if I resonate with that because I also have gotten everything that I've ever wanted.
Oh, she said that. She said hardship. Never heard of it.
No, but like straight up, like I did apply to a master's program at Naropa to be a transpersonal counselor, and I knew I was going to get in. And I did the 6-hour interview. I wrote my cover letter. I did all the things, and I got in. And I was telling everyone, and I knew.
Okay, well, sorry, I was speaking for you.
No, but I think that you're exactly right. That's how a lot of people treat it, and I do notice that, you know, what's interesting, I think I was so hands off. I already have it because I wasn't fully like committed, or like I didn't want it so badly. So I wasn't attached to like the outcome versus this is something that I want to work and thrive and succeed so badly that I think I have more fear with things that I
understood.
You know what I mean? I think the things that like there's more stake. There's more stake. And you know, I feel like I've been doing some sort of content creation and sharing my voice for so long, and I've had the same goal for so long that I haven't seen the result that I've wanted for a really long time. And now we're starting to see it, but before I had been so used to like trying something new, it not working.
Yeah.
Trying something new,
You're
it not
conditioned
working.
to an outcome of failure.
With this specifically. Yes. Yes.
Do you have 2020 vision?
Perfect 2020 vision.
You do?
Yep. What do you have?
I don't know. I haven't been to an eye doctor in a while. A while.
Well, you know what? I think 2015 is better than 2020.
Did you know that I wanted to be an optometrist for a little while? I was really attached to the idea of iridology and optometry.
Why?
I don't know. Fascinated.
Because people said that you had really nice eyes and you're like, eyes.
Yeah, I won best eyes in high school.
Yeah.
But I I'm not an eye person anymore.
Yeah. What?
Too much biology and chemistry that I failed.
Yeah. I feel like that'd be a really boring life, to be honest.
Well, you know what's not boring about it? Optometry might be boring, but have you ever heard of the concept of iridology?
Well, where you can take pictures of your eye color. Is that what it is?
Well, no. It's when someone... Well, not exactly, princess. It's connected to your iris and the way that people can analyze your iris. It's kind of like a pseudoscience. My jaw just...
Oh, Jesus.
And people can analyze your iris and tell you what's wrong with your organs in your body. And so they can look at it and like see, okay, you have problems in your liver, you have problems in your spleen, you have problems in your kidney, and it creates imbalances in your body. And so they see all of that through the colors, the lines, the shapes, the textures, the way that the eyes move.
Lucas was just telling me this, that there was an actor who was on TV and people were saying, your eyes don't look right, go get tested. And he found out he had cancer. Is that iridology?
Maybe. I don't know.
The eyes speak.
The eyes speak.
Speaking of eyes, you're wearing mascara.
Yeah, I'm not really a big mascara queen.
Well, did you know I did no makeup March?
How'd it go?
Great. But the only makeup I did actually use was I just did my like brush. That's not really makeup.
Yeah, you look very windblown.
I did my brush with my eyebrows. That's the only thing I do.
Yeah.
And I loved it because you know why? I think doing no makeup March actually allowed me to take better care of my skin.
Totally. But
Like-
you have like flawless skin no matter what.
Well, it gets dry sometimes.
Oh,
And so I have to I have to really focus on the moisturization. And I've been using the best skincare in the world.
Is this a plug? Are you getting paid for this?
No, but Youth to the People. Do you know them?
You to the people.
I think you'd actually really like them.
I know them.
You do?
I'm close with them.
Ah.
I don't have any products.
They call
but
you Pipsqueak?
They call me Pippi.
Yeah.
Pippi Longstockings.
Actually, we brought a beverage of the week that we have to dive into.
You brought a beverage of the week
I
and it
did.
looks amazing.
It's called All Day. All Day, baby.
Do you want me to sing?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
It's called I'm getting nervous.
I have something if you don't want to do it that you can maybe riff off of.
Okay, yeah.
More passion, more energy,
More passion, more passion
energy.
fruit, more guava. More passion fruit, more guava. More antioxidants for the skin. Youth to the people.
Love.
Yeah, no, it actually like gives me an incurable disease every time I sing. So I don't know why I offer.
Okay,
Make
so
your day shine brighter.
this is called an all-day superfruit soda. It has a little bit of caffeine in it from coffee fruit, pear juice.
Amanda!
Why was that my problem?
Because you literally
Why?
shook it.
When did I shake it?
I'm like actually pissed off right now.
When did I shake it? The can. Okay, go get a napkin or a... You need actually like a bath towel for that one. It's all over the mic too. How is it?
Really good.
Yeah?
Now that I have half a can. All right, I'm really sorry for the drama.
Okay, so the reason... You all right?
I'm sorry.
Okay. The reason I picked an all day was because this is very much a Streams of Consciousness episode where we can yap all day, every
it.
day.
Love it.
And yeah, I think I might not open mine just yet.
How nice that you had a guinea pig.
I'm going to let it settle and then I'll try it. But can I try yours actually while it's open?
Sure, anything for you, darling. I am freezing. I'm sopping wet. I'm freezing.
Wow.
What do you think?
Delish.
Delicious.
And Nutrish. Your Kindle. It's green?
It's matcha.
Wait, it
It's so cute.
looks a little more seafoam to me.
Oh, well, the name they call it is matcha.
They call it matcha?
They call it matcha.
No, they don't. Did they really?
That's why he got it for me.
So cute.
I know.
What are you reading?
7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
And?
It's good. It's long. I feel like I've been reading it for a long
What
time.
are you on? What?
Well, my percentage is going up very slowly. I'm at about 73% of the book, and I feel like I've been reading it for weeks.
So what part are you at?
The part where John just died. She's done with her relationship with Cecilia. She's got Connor as a baby.
Spoiler.
Sorry. Sorry. No, it's good. It's good. You know, I usually don't like to gravitate towards things that have too much hype. You know?
Mainstream.
Yeah. But I just had to do it.
That book has hype for a reason.
Is something like, are the tables going to turn? Because I feel like I'm just like, all right.
Yeah.
Another husband.
Just wait.
Okay.
Just wait.
Max Gerard just asked to marry her.
Well, that's one of the books that the whole story happens in like the last 20 pages.
Oh.
Which is, it's good, but it's also not good.
Good, but not so good.
You know what I've been reading?
What?
Sula. Well, actually, I just finished it yesterday.
What is it?
It's by Toni Morrison. Have you ever read Toni Morrison?
Give me.
It is so hard to describe, but essentially, it's about these two girls in
Fiction, nonfiction?
fiction.
Okay.
But it's like a historical fiction kind of. It's about like the black community in the 1920s to the 1965s.
Okay. Love.
And essentially they live in this small, not village, it's like a small little town. And one girl.
Why is a village not the same as a small little town?
Because when I think of village, I think of like medieval village for some reason. Like back in the ancient times.
It's not a village. It's just a small little town.
A small little town, a wee town. But essentially, it's about
Stop
these two
saying
girls.
essentially.
Okay, so basically, it's about these two girls who come from different backgrounds, but are very similar, and they were always similar. But it's like kind of about like a tragedy, like a lot of death involved, a lot of secrets that people do, and it's so hard to describe because
A lot of secrets that people do.
I can't describe it without giving away things. But the reason I
A wee
loved
village with many secrets. Okay.
No, that's such a terrible
synopsis of the
that is-
book is literally 1920s to the 1965s, wee village with many a secrets.
No, that's such a terrible disservice to Toni Morrison because it is one of the few fiction novels that I have read that is so eloquently written, so beautiful. Like any one sentence that she could say in 5 words, she doesn't. She takes the long route to get to the fucking point. And it is so beautiful because it's only like 170 pages. So it's short, but it's also filled with twists and turns, but she takes her time.
So should I read it, is what you're saying?
Yes, you should read it.
You know what? If you weren't named Amanda, you could be named Toni. Toni.
That's how it's spelled, Toni. Am I Toni Morrison?
You could totally be a Toni.
Why?
It just fits.
Really? Toni?
Don't you think?
Toni.
Toni.
To New York.
Toni. Toni from
You know
Long
that's
Island.
where the name Toni came from.
What?
Toni came from back in the day. The name
To New York.
Yes, packages would be labeled to New York, so then Toni became a name.
That's super cool. How'd you know that?
Because my best friend growing up, her dad's name was Toni.
Toni.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, an ode to New York.
I could just be making that. Could have been something that they made up too.
What would
but
I be named? What would my name be if it wasn't Jessa?
Bertha.
Fuck you. Literally, fuck you. Bertha? Beached whale type shit.
You could be like a Kai. You could be like a.
It's giving no gender.
Me too.
I was almost named Sophia. That fits for me.
No,
Oh, she said
Sophia
that.
feels a little too feminine for you.
Oh.
You're very
So
like
Jessa isn't feminine?
no, because Jess feels like masculine, and then Jessa gives it like a touch of feminine, like a little cherry on top.
You know what's interesting is that not all, but most women will gravitate towards calling me Jessa. Most men will just call me Jess.
Yeah, that's exactly that's it.
the
That's
rub.
exactly that's. You said you did something yesterday though that you were excited to tell me, and I said shh.
My quantum jumping
Oh, that
class.
was it. Oh, okay. So getting back to that, what did you do? What was the quantum jumping exercise?
Well, I brought them into the classroom and I said, everyone just keep an open mind, okay? We're about to dive into something. And I told them all about quantum jumping. And then I led a 15-minute meditation in the beginning of class because it's a 75-minute class. So I've got a little extra time. led a 15-minute meditation in the beginning of class where I had them visualize, actually fully embody this version of themselves that they want to be. So very much like a visualization meditation of them walking into a version of themselves. And then I had them do the rest of the class as that version of themselves. So they're flowing through postures as this new version that they've just jumped into.
That's interesting. I love that.
Yeah.
Did you notice anybody a completely new version of themselves?
Pretty much, yeah. Everyone.
Yeah. Like from literally the moment they walked in, they were like, whatever, being and then you see someone just like,
it's interesting, like the contagion of a room when you as an instructor really have the ability to turn people on or turn people off. And then once you turn a few people in the classroom on, then the other people get, inspired. Like once they drop in, especially if you encourage breath. Why are you laughing at me?
I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
I was just going to say, you really have an opportunity there to fuck with people. You could just be like, all right, guys, now let's get a howling monkey.
Yeah, you could. And people would listen.
That's what I'm saying.
What did you do?
I went to Keystone.
How was that?
We taught the kids how to ski.
That's so fun.
We put the kids on skis for the first time ever. Ellis was not really interested. He's 2, so he's just not as like
Dose.
Yeah, he's just not as like, his attention span is not there. And so I took him down in between my legs and just like, did that whole thing with him on the bunny slope for
super cute,
like maybe 2 times. And then Lennox was super into it. He went in between my legs and he's like, oh my God, I love this. Like, let's go again and again. So I let him go by himself. And what he would do is Lucas would go like 6 feet in front of him, and then he would go down by himself, and Lucas would catch him and keep doing that, and he loved it. But I was like, look, you can't just straight send it down the mountain. You can't just bomb it.
You gotta carve.
You gotta carve. So I said, let's do some turns. And so I taught him how to turn. He was like so natural. He was really getting it.
Was it helping his behavioral issues?
I think so.
Good.
I think so, because we were out in nature.
It's an outlet.
It's an outlet. And so
fresh air.
We did that, and then we stayed at my friend Griffin and Anna at his house in Keystone. And it's a beautiful house, and they have a perfect room for the kids with 2 twin beds. And then upstairs, this little closet that is a huge toy room. So the kids were in heaven.
Yeah, what a vacay.
What a vacay.
A little staycay vacay.
And then we went into the hot tub, and the kids went in the hot tub for the first time.
Isn't that like not good to bring little kids in a hot tub?
Well, I was wondering that too. And I looked it up on like Google, and he said that, under 5 is not really great. But it was so cute, because what they were doing was Lucas was in there with them, and every like 2 minutes, Lucas would be like, okay, let's go do the outside dance. And so they would go outside and
get back in the hot
dance.
tub.
And like he would like dare them to put their feet in the snow, and then they get back in the hot tub.
So cute.
So
we were
being
burn
responsible
of like putting your feet in the snow and then putting it back in the water.
So
you
real.
know what I want to talk about? You said lay Google. Lay Googled something.
Yeah.
The concept of AI and how detrimental it is to the world, and like these centers that are producing so much radiation and pollution every time someone like Googles something or AIs something. Google doesn't let you have a choice now. Every single time you Google something, there's an AI response.
And thank God for it.
Uh-oh. You're going to be Elon Musk's 15th wife.
No, Miss ChatGPT stand over here.
Only when I need something really important. I'm selective about its use.
Which is every single day.
That's not true. I don't use it every single day. I don't. A couple times a week. That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to use ChatGPT.
Why? I don't think so.
I think it's embarrassing.
Well, we use it for like all of our copy.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't. The copy comes halfway from my brain, and then I quality check it.
Yeah, but our titles for SEO come from chat.
I understand.
Chat. We chatted. No, the reason I say thank God for it is because honestly, Google's AI is like really impressive. Everything that I want to know based on the question that I put in the search engine is exactly right there in front of me. It is so spot on.
Next thing we know, Amanda's moving to Silicon Valley.
No, seriously, it is so spot on. And I just really value that instead of having to sift through a bunch of websites.
Because God forbid they make anything a little bit less convenient for you.
Yeah.
We're lazy. We're lazy. We're lazy.
We are lazy. We are a lazy culture.
Yeah. Instant gratification.
Yeah. But speaking of, I really have had a switch, because something that I've been really grappling with, I think, for the last year probably
Do tell the people your struggles.
is my relationship to short form content creation. Is my relationship to not like just social media and consuming it and whatever. Like we all know consuming content's not good for you.
I'm getting a kink in my neck from looking at you. I'm looking straight ahead.
But as somebody who has created online for so long, I am getting really fucking tired of just creating short form content to be like seen, to like grab people's attention. It doesn't exercise my brain.
It doesn't fill your
It doesn't
cup.
stimulate. It doesn't fulfill
So what
me.
stimulates you?
So I've been on Substack.
Oral?
Actually, no, but I have been on Substack.
Yeah, I do. I have seen that you're plugging Substack.
I've been on Substack, and I mean, I was an English major, so writing was, I mean, my first ever dream was like, I wanted to be a magazine writer. I wanted to be the next Anna Wintour. I wanted to be like a magazine editor. And so it just made me realize like how much of my time have I been compromising just to create short form content for what? When like I actually do have a skill and a talent and a love for writing, and I'm not doing any of it.
It makes total sense. Short form content for short form results. Like, sure,
Facts.
You get some followers, you get some likes, you get some people who are like following you to consume a very basic level of who you are, whether it's your outfit, whether it's your hairstyle, whether it's, you know, just like some quick rant. Short form content for short form results, no one really gets to understand you and your depth, which I think for some people, like, they don't care to portray their depth, but that doesn't serve you because you have so many layers to you that you want to share more of like what you're actually feeling, experiencing, thinking, seeing in the world. And so you're just going to appeal to a completely different demographic of consumers.
Yeah.
Substack is a really intellectual platform where a lot of people are going there to get beyond the short form, to get beyond the superficial, and to learn and to like be a more self-realized conscious human, because the only way that you can become a more self-realized conscious human is by consuming other people's experiences to give you perspective.
Well, and the reason I think that
I don't know.
The straw that broke the camel's back for me was like seeing a few creators that I love both posting reels of them in the hospital, where like one was giving birth and she was doing like a TikTok sound of her in labor, and then the other one was like sharing my fertility journey and she's like crying in a hospital room. And I'm like, why are we sharing our most intimate moment? Like it really was a 180 in my brain where I was like, oh my God, we are sharing our most intimate moments online just for the desperation of see me. And you know what? There's been so much content and so many creators. There's so much oversaturation that like the only way that people do stand out now is by sharing, like oversharing their personal shit. And it's really started to disgust me.
Well, it's tough because there's almost like a double standard that you're highlighting here of short form content doesn't get to the oversharing. It doesn't get to the depth. It doesn't get to the layers that we were just talking about. But then also like the sharing from your hospital bed, the sharing from your labor, some people want to see that depth, that authenticity, that experience. And so it's like, where do we point a finger and draw the line of like, I don't want to consume your shit because why are you sharing the most intimate moments? But I want real creators who share what they're really going through versus just like, here's my baby and my pregnancy was awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
I think what was so weird to me though was like the dissonance that was created from the actual experience of labor and birth, from seeing this creator like literally doing like a viral sound, like holding her belly bump and being like, yeah, I'm really excited. Like they're using a sound.
yeah.
And like holding her baby bump. And I'm like,
Yeah, it's almost like
it's so
fraud.
meta.
Yeah.
It's weird to me. The marketing gal that I love, Coco Moco, shout out. We're gonna talk about her every single episode. She has an interesting theory that she thinks that short form is gonna become seen as cheap.
It is cheap.
Because think about it, giving people so much access to you for free.
It's cheap.
Right?
It's chuggy.
It's chuggy. I think we're all in the era that like short form is chuggy now.
Where did the saying, the straw that broke the camel's back, come from?
The camel.
The camel himself said, ow. Holy shit, that hurt.
The straw really got me.
It's interesting the language that we use for like random shit that like you know what that means, but it actually makes no sense.
Yeah.
What are some other ones?
I can't come
Don't
up with
let
shit.
the bed bugs bite.
Don't let the bed bugs bite. I mean, it is real.
True.
Because bed bugs do
All
bite.
right, what else? Another day, another dollar.
Another day, another dollar. My brain's not like firing off. Firing on all cylinders.
Firing on all cylinders. The dog days are over.
The hair of the dog.
Hair of the dog.
Hair of the dog. What the fuck does that mean?
Is that called an idiom?
3 sheets to the wind.
Never fucking heard that.
There were 3 sheets. 3 sheets to the wind.
Just saying it again is not going to get me to understand
never heard that.
No.
It means like you're hammered. Oh, there were 3 sheets to the wind.
Oh. I haven't been hammered in a really long time.
You haven't. I was thinking about that the other day
How do you know that about me? You don't know me.
because I know everything you do.
Well, when was the last time you were?
I was pretty drunk this weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had mezcal margaritas. So good.
I love mezcal.
So good. Oh, we played this fun game.
Wait, we'll talk about the game, but did you
Okay.
know that tequila needs to grow for 7 years before you can cut down the plant?
I think I did know that, yeah.
Okay.
It's like an agave plant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did know that.
What game did you play?
Hues and Cues. Have you heard of that?
Nope.
It's Pantone's game, like the paint. You would love it. So essentially, there's like a whole
So
color
you can't
board.
play if you're colorblind.
No, you can't.
Okay.
You're not colorblind, right?
Could be.
I think about that all the time, actually. Because for a while, Ellis would look at red and be like, green. And he would maintain.
He's also just one.
No, but he would maintain green for red, like the whole time. And we're like, okay. Like, what? And then
Green.
finally he said red, and we were like, yes.
I mean, you probably see blue differently than I see blue. You see shit differently than I see.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe
Anyways,
not.
Hues and Cues Pantone.
Hues and Cues. So basically, it's a whole color board, like a color grid. And it's every color under the sun, right? And so basically, you get a card with the number of the color. So there's like, it's numbered, right? It's like D7 or whatever. It's like a grid. So you get the card. You don't show anybody. You see the color.
You have to describe the color.
You have to describe the color in one word. And people have to move their peg to it and guess.
I've seen this.
Yeah. And so you basically...
Wait, let's play it in the room. You have to pick anything in the room. You have to describe it with one word, and I have to figure out what you're talking about. But you have to describe it based on color, obviously, not based on item.
Highlighter.
My chair.
Yes.
Okay, I want to pick one.
Okay.
Okay, so you have to describe it with another
With
color?
one word. No, not another, not a
anything.
color. Anything. You could say like St. Patrick's Day.
Okay, could I say butter?
Yeah.
This is fun.
That thing underneath your light.
No.
That ball underneath your light. The little
Ow.
The little stuffed animal in your
That's-
purse.
Way too bright to be butter.
The stuffed animal in your purse.
No.
Butter?
Butter.
Okay, give me 2 words.
Melted butter.
There's 2 rounds. And then you can say 2 words to describe.
Okay, if you're not getting it.
Yeah, if you're not getting it.
Soft
like if
butter.
if you want people to like move in a certain direction. Because say everyone puts their pegs down and you're like, oh, nobody got it. So you say something to help them move.
I'm helping you. Soft butter.
Soft butter.
Amanda.
The curtains. So well, also we're playing in a huge room where there could be anything. Oh, that
Soft butter.
You have like 12 things in here that look like soft butter.
I'm a whore for butter. I love butter.
Really?
Yeah.
Like
Irish
straight out
butter?
of the
Well, I'm not just going to take a bite into butter.
my grandma Sugar did. Well, my great aunt Sugar. Her name's Sugar. We call her Sugar.
Maybe I'll be called Pipsqueak Sugar.
I could see you being called Sugar.
Sugar?
Yes.
Sugar.
Sugar is good because she would call us Sugar, so then we started calling her Sugar.
That's cute.
Yeah, I could totally see you being called Sugar.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, well, we're going to wrap this episode up because this was just a girly, fun chit-chat, a streams of consciousness. But thank you so much for listening. Go and look around your city to see if any of our posters are there. And leave us a review.
What she said.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.